Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about Pallas in Leo in a natal chart. Now, first off, when we're talking about Pallas in astrology, it can be about how one may solve their dilemmas. Now, given that this is in Leo, it could be where one solves their issues or dilemmas using a lot of Leo-like ferocity, that will, creativity, courage, fortitude, even it can be done with great leadership prowess and ability. And they might solve their issues sometimes by maybe spending a little more than they like through some kind of extravagance or just generous, magnanimous energy. Now, Leo energy, can also be about really just trying, harder than the previous time, winning in no-win scenarios by that constant try harder than previously type philosophy. So anyway, now also when we're talking about Pallas in astrology, it can be connected with perceived connection that one may have with their dad or father. Now, the thing about this is this connection, the relationship may be where it has a lot of loyalty, generosity, a lot of magnanimous energy, but it could be one where one may be trying to outshine the other in various things, whether it might be through some competition or what have you, or one wanting more. It might be like an attention-seeking battle that may exist between these people. Now, could also be one where the connection may have had a lot of dramatic moments, but in one which had some domineering energy as well. But anyway, the thing about this too is we're talking about Pallas in astrology can also be connected with disputes. Now, this can be associated with very dramatic, it could be dramatic arguments, ones that are very loud and boisterous, that might be attention seeking. They could be, in some cases, very loud, vociferous confrontations. It could be disputes associated with children or about maybe not getting the recognition or notoriety or what have you for what, or adulation for things that are being done. Now, another thing too is when we're talking about Pallas in astrology, it can be connected with where one focuses like their mental, like attention on where attention on concepts and ideas. It can be associated with that. Now, given that this is in Leo, this could be about really focusing on perhaps ideas and concepts that are connected with energy that may be derived from the sun. It can be concepts that involve video game or design or board game design. Leo energy can be connected with games, with fun, amusement, and enjoyment. This could be somebody that might be an innovator, somebody that's very creative in terms of designing games and things of fun, amusement, and enjoyment. Now, we're also another thing when we're talking about Pallas in astrology, this can be connected. Pallas can be associated with depleted immune system, diminished immune system that's diminished. Now, given that this is Leo, it can be something where there might be some issues like with the heart or even some upper back pain, which can be attributed to an immune system that could be depleted or diminished. A heart example can be, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but myocarditis. That could be one example. Another thing too is that you look at you look at Pallas in astrology. Pallas in astrology can also be associated with tough choices that one may make in conjunction with one's relationships that are male. It can be, in some cases, it might be a significant other, or it can simply be, if it's a platonic relationship, simply a male that might figure prominently in one's life scheme. Now, given that we're talking about Leo energy, these decisions and choices might be made with a lot of confidence and self-assuredness, but also in a very resolute and willful manner. It might be done with a lot of pride and Leo-like dignity. Um, it can also be, when we're talking about and it might, some cases, remember that Leo can be about extravagant energy. So some decisions or tough choices that are made may involve paying somebody. You know, it might be something where a payment may be made where you had to spend an exorbitant amount of money, or more than you thought you originally had anticipated. Now, also, Pallas in astrology can also be associated with, in some cases, Pallas is associated with we could looking at the strategy that one may use to traverse uncharted territory. Now, given that we're talking about Leo energy, this strategy one may employ as far as this goes may be done with by being very gregarious and extroverted, by being gregarious and extroverted with the people in the environment that is just that may be uncharted. It can be also where it's also about this energy can also manifest, I would think, in being very going in with a lot of confidence and self-assuredness, and where one could be boasting about their positive qualities and abilities in order to win favor of those people, perhaps in that environment. Now, and also too, it might be doing something, and also it could even be in some cases appearing more confident and more self-assured than one may actually be. It could also be in some cases connected with some kind of extravagant nature, because Leo can be, the zodiac sign Leo can be associated with this. It might be it might be how where you might be going into an environment and winning people over by doing things extravagant favors, or showing a lot of generosity, or doing something where you're spending, more on these people than maybe one may, than the average person may in this environment. Now, that would be uncharted, and something that you're just something new in an environment that you're traversing. Now, could also be in some case, when you're looking at this as well, Pallas in astrology can be connected with kidney issues. Now, given that this is what's associated with the kidneys now, so if there's so naturally it would be safe to surmise it can be kidney issues connect, as far as Pallas goes, because it is associated with the kidneys. Now, if there are any problems with the kidneys, being that Pallas being in Leo, perhaps it may be attributed to just some cases. It can be really just eating or drinking things, say, recklessly, or just or a mindset where one may simply feel that they're impervious to kidney issues, where they're not being, or just lack of being careful, or just overconfidence, thinking that there's like this invincibility as far as potential kidney issues may go, because Leo energy, negative manifestation, could be very arrogant, very cocky, and one where one may just think that, I can never get these issues, so they might just eat. This person, it could be connected with just eating just whatever, whenever, and whether it might be a lot of carbonated beverages or not drinking enough water, and they're just thinking that nothing, no issues can happen to this person, when the reality is that, if you're doing certain diets, of course, can show greater propensity toward kidney issues, and even and sometimes it could be just being overly extravagant or expedient in doing. I mean, when you're spending a lot of money on food, a lot of times it could be fast food and sodas, and when you're having like a lot of sodas, or you have like a high, I mean, sodas can, carbonation, of course, can be attributed to kidney issues, and I believe sodium can be as well. You may want to check on, but I mean, you're talking about when your kidney issues can be associated with dehydration as well. And Leo energy can sometimes, I see this as being by using very, strong and inexorable energy, seemingly inexorable energy, and maybe in being maybe just overexerting oneself, putting in too much energy, too much effort, and not replenishing oneself with the fluids that are necessary. So kidney issues can be associated with that, I would say, as well. Now also too, I mean, let's take an aspect as an example. I mean, let's say there's an adverse aspect that is from Pallas in Leo made to Jupiter. Well, I mean, since Pallas can be about resolving issues and solving dilemmas, it could be in some cases that there may be, this person may resort to resolving issues through something by going against the law, because Jupiter, of course, is associated with the law. And being in Leo, it might just be for some notoriety or attention-seeking reason, or something that may be done on a grand scale. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.